everybody, and away we go with another edition of the TSN Wrestling Show. Ed Whalen at ringside. I'm delighted to have you aboard. We should have some great action tonight. Jason the Terrible, who's wrestling up a storm, will be on the card. We have a grudge match that will be pitting Brian Pillman against Judah Rosenblum in a six-man tag. I think that possibly will be where most of the action will be, a six-man tag. It's got all the earmarks, I would think, of a ring-a-ding-dong dandy. We'll be back to the action in just a moment. As per usual, I am joined by the inimitable Jim Davies, newspaper columnist and general bon vivant man about town, to bring you some of the action. And in the opener, we've got Todd Olson, newcomer out of Washington State, against Ben Dune McDonald. I hear good reports on young Olson.
He's looking pretty good in there. The fight is still early. We haven't reached the 5-minute mark yet, but I can tell you this, he's acquitted himself very well against a man who weighs approximately 50 pounds more than he does. Todd Olson tips the Toledos at 224, whereas Ben Dune a whopping 278.
Wayne Hart is the third man in the ring. Todd Olson, I was talking to him in the dressing room, very personable young man, has done most of his wrestling in the Portland area, has been a professional for about 4 years. Primarily, his interest that led to wrestling was bodybuilding and weightlifting, and that often does the trick.
And you can see he's got that upper body development that comes from years of powerlifting. He is a strong man. If that can translate into success in the ring, we'll soon find out.
Well, he will get a test from the veteran Ben Dune McDonald. I mentioned earlier that we had a six-man tag. That will be Owen Hart and Kichi Yamada, along with, get used to this name, Hiro Hossie. That's actually Viet Cong Express #1. Great fighter. They go against Mukha Singh, Great Gama, and Jerry Morrow.
A little on the background of Hiro Hossie, who I'm glad to see has finally seen the light and gotten away from the likes of Judah Rosenblum and Karachi Vice. Hiro Hossie was a member of the Vietnam team in the LA Olympic Games in the 180-pound class. He was ranked among the top 5 amateurs in the world. He is a good one. He's represented Vietnam in wrestling, gymnastics, and kickboxing.
Newcomer Todd Olson, Washington, against Ben Dune McDonald of Edinburgh. We've just passed the 5-minute mark, 15-minute time limit.
One thing about Ben Dune McDonald, last week, he made a public apology to the fans in the territory, saying he had said some rotten things about them and that Canadians were, in fact, the finest people he'd ever met. One thing, though, he made that comment as he was entering the ring against Jason the Terrible, and I think he wanted anybody and everybody on his side, and it didn't work anyway. He was dispatched quickly, as all of Jason the Terrible's opponents have been, and we'll be getting a look at Jason the Terrible in a bout coming up on our card.
Well, I'll tell you, Ben Dune not only was verbalizing with a nice talk, in addition to that, he was making out his last will and testament. That Jason is ominous. As Jim tells you, you'll see him a little later. McDonald, despite all his apologies, doesn't look to me like he has really totally mended his ways.
He certainly hasn't. Last week, when the anthem was played, he was standing at attention. This week, the anthem was played, he was playing with his kilt, fiddling around, and generally making a nuisance of himself. 1, 2... Just a 2 count. Ben Dune almost putting away young Todd Olson.
You know, one of the young men I would rather not be this evening, and he's a very personable young guy, good-looking, Gilles Defosse. He's going into action against Jason the Terrible. What an assignment for a relatively new wrestler.
almost an impossible task for virtually anybody at 6'5", 270 pounds, and quick and mean and strong. Jason the Terrible, wearing that hockey mask that he uses as a weapon. Nobody wants to tangle with him.
All right, let us concentrate on what's happening here. That's Todd Olson. Nice cover, 1, 2, didn't quite get him. Van Duyn was able to spin out.
You're right about that. No more Mr. Nice Guy for Ben Duyn McDonald, Ed Whalen. Ben Duyn using a lot of dirty tactics, and I think it's back to the same old Ben Duyn.
Can make a man cynical, can't it? I mean, I listened to his lovely testimony last week. Was vastly impressed. And look what happens. He lied. Well, Olson got him coming out of that corner.
Olson built like a human fire plug. He's pretty short to the ground, but he is almost as wide as he is tall. Big upper body development. Look at him throw Ben Duyn off. Oh, and the big flying clothesline. Todd Olson looks like one strong hombre.
He's got fullback style legs too, hasn't he? Very, very solid young man. We are moving toward the 10-minute mark. This is one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Todd Olson making his debut. Delivers a solid elbow. Blue-eyed, blonde Todd Olson. Maybe a girl or two in the crowd whose heart will skip a beat.
And Ben Duyn McDonald, of course, wants to make Todd Olson's heart skip at least 3 beats during a referee count by our referee of the year in the territory, Wayne Hart. He's going to go for the pin pretty quickly. I think he's got Todd Olson shaken up.
As he got him softened up, puts him into the corner. A lot of mauling at close range, but now Ben Duyn flings him out of there. Well, that didn't work, did it? Olson turns around, takes the big man, big suplex, beautifully done. Put him over.
10 minutes.
And our timekeeper, Barry Russell, tells us we've gone past the 10-minute mark. McDonald with his foot up on the ropes.
It seems like almost an eternity ago when Ben Duyn McDonald was teamed up with Muck and Singh. Apparently the two are second cousins, but they had a falling out. Muck and Singh promised he'd never, ever partner up. Look at this, 1, 2, just a 2 count, but he promised he would never partner up with Ben Duyn McDonald again, and their paths have not crossed since.
You have to wonder if they'll cross in opposite corners someday. Well, the old tit-for-tat trick, that's precisely what Olson did to McDonald moments ago. McDonald gaining his revenge, turns him over, the big slam. Well, we're going to do a little aerial maneuvering, are we? He's taking too long a time.
He's taking far too long. Here comes Olson. Grabs him off the top rope. He's debating what to do with him. You know what he's going to do. He's going to slam him down on the canvas. Look of shock on Ben Duyn's face.
You can't take that long to launch your flight. Wow. Has he got him? That is the question. He rolls him. Gonna pull him over into a crab. Has he got him? McDonald says, no, 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 no.
The referee's asking, it's over. It is over. Your winner, newcomer to the territory, Todd Olson, an impressive victory with a Boston Crab maneuver. Your loser, Ben Dune McDonald. Well, we're in the ring with Todd Olson. The crowd is giving him a good hand. And Todd, an impressive debut in the territory. You handled the big man, Ben Dune McDonald. Obviously, the powerlifting certainly helped because you were throwing him around pretty darn good.
Sure did. Ben Dune's a tough man, but then everybody in Calgary's tough. That's why I'm here. I want to make a name for myself, and this is the place to do it. You know, all the guys who come from here. Calgary's got the best reputation in the world, and I'm glad I'm here. I've been on both sides of the fence, and the fans don't quite know how to take me, but I'll win them over. I guarantee you, 'cause I'm here to win, and I'm here to take care of some business.
You heard him, Todd Olson. He's here to take care of business, and he took care of Ben Dune McDonald in our opening bout.
The Karachi Vice, heavy on the word vice.
Let me tell you something, Waylon. Your little co-partner out there, Davies, I can't believe he can waste the ink and put stories in about the wrestlers swearing and spitting. Haven't you ever seen these moron peasants out here in the crowd? Where do you think we might have learned it from? We come out here every night and got to hear abuse and be spit on, and now they want to try to say something to us? Gamma, can you believe after last week we pulled the mask off this little boy, and the only thing we've come up with is we think he's Hito's son.
Here,
that's the only thing we've come up with.
He's a great wrestler. Laugh if you will.
Hey,
he's great.
Waylon, I want to show this right next to you. We're not going to say anything's going to happen tonight to anybody's eyes like poor Omar. But you better keep this on your table, Waylon.
Yeah,
you better
all fired up tonight, Edwin.
Sure.
The Karachi Vice is all fired up. In this six-man tag team match with Owen Hart, Kichi Yamada, and Hasi, you have one English-speaking, one Vietnamese-speaking, and one Japanese-speaking. What we have here is a failure to communicate, Edwin. Can you imagine the three of them trying to put their strategy together, trying to get a game plan for this thing? Your gang is going against
you got
the
some of that
Karachi
rot gut
Vice,
champagne.
After that, you know what we have, Edwin? A big party, and this bottle was drinking champagne.
Yeah, all right.
You put all of them in the phone booth together. They couldn't find the telephone.
You know, Hasi, man, he really makes me, perturbs me. He never trained. The man is too small to be in the Karachi Vice anyway. Look, he never worked out hard like Gamma, like Big Mike.
Losers in the Vice. No room for
Enough.
Keep it ready, Eddie.
70 pounds worth of them. Parts unknown. Gilles Defosse, 228 from Peace River. One fall, 20-minute time limit. I wouldn't bet 5 cents that it would go very long. And that is not to put young Defosse down, but this Jason is absolutely destroying the opposition. Jürgen Herman is the controversial referee.
Jürgen Herman appearing without his seeing eye dog. What a treat. And mentioning Jason the Terrible, his string of victories, he is undefeated, have virtually all come within the first 5 minutes, so there is credence to what you say, Ed Whalen.
Defosse, nice young man, finding out in a hurry. What a rough individual this Jason is. Comes into the ring with ominous music out of that ominous movie.
Jaws, the theme from Jaws, and he is deadly. Deadly, they call him the human machine. That's just one of the many things they call him that's polite enough to tell you on television.
Sort of a wrestling version of RoboCop, I guess.
That's true, and with that controversial hockey goalie mask on, and incidentally, he was wearing...
Look out! He looked, that Jason looked at me and threw him right at me. Well, Jason just won't get off him.
One yellow card for the Terrible. One yellow card.
Boy, I could see that coming. Jason looking straight at me, and bango.
Well, we wound up with a lap full of Gilles DeFosse, and look at this move by Jason the Terrible. Amazing strength. The man is just an animal in there. Of course, Judah Rosenblum, the manager of Jason the Terrible, says his man is unstoppable and on line to win the North American heavyweight title from Owen Hart.
Well, I'd pay to see that one, I'll tell you. DeFosse getting a bit of a lesson in here. One thing that surprises me about Jason is the fact that we acknowledge that he's pretty crude, but he's also got ability. He's very agile.
A man of that size, 270 pounds, he moves around very quickly. In fact, the only thing slow about the man at all is his emotional makeup. All he'll come up with is this bone-rattling...
Look out, here he comes at us again.
You can hear that bone-rattling roar I was talking about.
He won't break. He won't break.
Second yellow card for Jason the Terrible. Second yellow card.
And I could see those eyes peering out from beneath that goalie mask. They were giving you the hairy eyeball, Ed.
I don't think he likes me. Let me correct that. I know he doesn't. Boy, he's got control of things. He keeps concentrating on me. What did I do? I wish DeFosse would catch him from behind, but he couldn't. Nearing the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, you can say that Jason the Terrible has an even disposition. It's always surly.
Yeah, he's consistent, all right. DeFosse got him. Oh, DeFosse turned him around. Gets some shots into the midsection. Bangs away. Up. The rally did not last for long. The coach may have turned into a pumpkin.
It seems almost impossible to hurt this man. Look at that big power slam. And it looks like he's going Air Express.
Right up top. Here he comes now. Oh, that mask into the midsection holds him down. It's a 2, it's a 3. There's another win for Jason the Terrible.
All over once again within 5 minutes. Undefeated, string intact. And once again, he uses that mask as a lethal weapon. Your winner, Jason the Terrible.
Bruce Hart and Brian Pillman, you're going separate ways tonight.
Yeah, sometimes we have to do that. I got Goldie Rogers tonight, a pretty tough guy, and I think if I can concentrate on the business at hand, I should have no trouble beating him, though. Brian's got a more treacherous opponent in Jude Rosenblum tonight. He's going to have to keep his eyes and ears open. There's a lot of snakes in the grass out there, as I'm sure he's already learned.
Well, Brian, I'm surprised that Judah would come into the ring with you.
Well, Ed, I'd just like to say this headband represents the festive mood I'm in tonight. I finally got Rosenblum one-on-one in the ring. Now, if I can keep him from running outside the ring, it's going to be a classic illustration of what happens when a two-bit, lethargic, lazy bum like Rosenblum, who lays around watching TV, cramming his face full of popcorn and hot dogs all week, expects to come into the ring with a professional athlete like myself who trains every day, works out, and eats right. And Rosenblum, I don't know if you know what an NDE is, baby, but it's a near-death experience. Get ready. You're getting ready to have one because you're stepping on my turf. And when you take a stroll down Pill Street, you got to pay your dues. And after you're done, you're going to be singing the Pill Street Blues, baby.
There he is, the Pill Man, Brian Pillman, and Bruce Hart.
Here we are with Owen Hart, Kichi Yamada, and Hiro Hossie, the former Viet Cong Express #1. And Owen, the three of you teaming up. It must be nice to have Hiro Hossie on your side, but you're going against three guys who I don't think you could trust with your lunch money.
Well, I got two guys here in my corner who I can trust, certainly, and I'm not too worried about those guys. Muckin Singh, Jerry Morrow, and Gamma Singh. I'd like to say, you know, Muckin Singh, I got this belt here and you want it. Well, I want you tonight, and I'm going to have you in the ring. So when I step in the ring, Muckin Singh, with you, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to carry that belt in my head, because when you and me step in that ring, Muckin Singh, I remember all the things that you and Gamma Singh tried to do to me. Every night, you know, when I step in the ring with you guys, you're always breaking the rules. Last time it was two guys, then Gamma Singh had to jump in the ring and interfere with Jerry Morrow. So luckily, the Viet Cong came to my aid, and you know, he got fed up. He got sick and tired of the guys breaking the rules time and time again. He got sick and tired of it, and we're glad to have him on our side. Second of all, Gamma Singh, I got the Commonwealth belt. You're another guy that you want something that I have. Well, Gamma Singh, you got something that I want, and that's your body. When you step in the ring, Gamma Singh, I'm going to kick your butt. I'm going to destroy you, Gamma Singh, because I'm getting sick and tired of it. Now, this is building up and building up, okay? I don't know how long it can go on. We got Jerry Morrow, Gamma Singh, and Muckin Singh. I don't know who more they can add to the list. Maybe that Rosenblum or someone, but we're going to have three of them in the ring, and they're going to be three of us, and we're hoping to end this whole thing once and for all, because I'm sick and tired of this. Guys interfering, breaking the rules every time, so we're going to get them all in the ring, and we're going to try to end it tonight.
Thanks very much, Owen Hart. Hero Hossie,
yes.
It must be nice finally getting away from some of those bad characters.
Yeah, but let me tell you something these days. No more Karachi bites. I don't like them, you know. I beat them tonight completely.
Okay, thanks very much. And Kichi Yamada, big bout.
Thank you very much.
Do well tonight. Thanks very much, Owen Hart, Kichi Yamada, Hero Hossie. They're the men in our main event.
On the 213-pound Bruce Hart of Calgary against the 223-pounder Goldie Rogers, Hollywood, California. Judah Rosenblum, manager for Rogers, has just taken a pounding from Hart, who clears the ring. We're just underway. It's one fall with a 30-minute time limit.
And you can see immediately there's no love lost between Bruce Hart and Judah Rosenblum, the manager of Goldie Rogers. Bruce Hart has been after him since before the opening bell. Hopefully he'll leave some of Judah Rosenblum for Brian Pillman, who's going to be taking on Judah just in about coming right up.
The man of sartorial splendor, Goldie Rogers, comes into the ring with those neon pants of his. Jürgen Hermann, the referee. Hanging around ringside is K.C. Houston. Turned out to be a pretty good wrestler in her own right in the past couple of weeks.
She's looked good teaming up with Rhonda Singh against the Japanese world champion female tag team. But those little Japanese girls are very awesome. And you mentioned Goldie Rogers, his sartorial elegance. Well, once again, his wardrobe is courtesy of Calvin Couturier to the colorblind.
Okay. Jim mentioned earlier that Rosenblum has to face Brian Pillman. Roll over, and it's just two. Pulled him down again. Goldie Rogers, the veteran campaigner.
Didn't take Judah Rosenblum long to get Goldie Rogers as part of his wrestling stable. You've mentioned before, Ed Whalen, that Judah Rosenblum, for a man who seems afraid to get in the ring, wields a lot of power with a lot of wrestlers in this territory. And he, Muckin Singh, and Great Gamma composed the triumvirate at the head of Karachi Vice.
Bruce Hart, the veteran campaigner as well, although somewhat younger than his opponent. Gets a 2 count there. He is one half of the International Tag Team Championship duo of Hart and Brian Pillman. And a young man who knows his way around the ring. Has had some injury problems in recent years with a bad knee, a bad shoulder in particular, kept him out for a long, long time. But here he is, back in action and looking strong.
As a matter of fact, we talked about the injury-plagued career of Bruce Hart. He has been injury-free for approximately 6 to 8 months, but prior to that, it was a long, long rehabilitation road back to the wrestling ring. But he's shaken off the injuries, and you can see his performance. He's looking good.
Only Goldie Rogers might disagree. Rogers into that corner, takes a chop, goes for a ride. So far, Rogers hasn't had much to offer in opposition. There's the neck breaker. Cover 1, 2, that's all. Time for a little siesta.
Rogers getting a little bit of comforting from Casey Houston, the female wrestler who's unfortunately part of this Karachi Vice venomous outfit, and the head cheese of Karachi Vice sitting over in the corner. Judah Rosenblum watching his man. Your man Goldie Rogers certainly doesn't look very impressive in there.
First of all, let me correct you, man. They don't call the president of the United States the head cheese. They give him respect. So I appreciate if you do the same thing with me.
For you? For you?
That's right, for me.
Oh. Yes, Mr. Reagan. Goldie Rogers is not doing well. So I guess Judah is seeking respect somewhere. 5 minutes gone.
I cannot believe that Judah Rosenblum is likening himself to the President of the United States. The only thing they have in common is that after Judah Rosenblum fights Brian Pillman, he won't be able to remember anything either.
Tisk, tisk. Rosenblum offering a little solace to his friend Rogers. Was he offering anything else, like a foreign object? I don't know. But we have every right to be suspicious. Rogers having trouble getting his motor in gear, finally makes it at the corner. Here comes Rogers. Rosenblum diverted Hart's attention, an old trick.
It is an old trick, and I'm surprised that Bruce Hart would fall for it, because thus far in the bout, all he's had to be concerned about is Goldie Rogers, who has been not Goldie, he has been fool's gold in there for most of the duration of this bout.
Jürgen Hermann calling for the break, but they're at close quarters once again. You'll hear the chirping. It's not the Robins on the lawn. Jürgen Hermann uses a whistle. Look at Rosenblum. Rosenblum's going to work outside the ring.
He was choking at Bruce Hart. Now he's stomping him. And you know now why both Hart and Pillman can't stand Judah Rosenblum. They've both been asking for a match with him. Pillman drew the lucky straw. He gets a hold of Rosenblum, who's still attacking Bruce Hart.
Well, that's the only reason that at the moment Hart has faded to some degree. One fall, 30 minutes. And again, Rosenblum gets into the fray.
One, two, three.
Goldie Rogers, Hollywood, California, in action against Bruce Hart, Calgary, Alberta. There's a 10-pound weight differential. Hart, the lighter man. But really, Hart has been forced to fight both Rogers and Rosenblum.
Bruce Hart, one half of the International Tag Team Championship duo, along with Brian Pillman, must think he's fighting a tag team again, because most of the action, when he hasn't been in control, has involved him going up against the duo of both Goldie Rogers and his manager, Judah Rosenblum, for his cheating efforts. Goldie Rogers now has a second yellow card, one more, and he's out of there, and you can see Judah Rosenblum doing his thing again.
Rosenblum just won't stay out of it. Moving toward the 10-minute mark. Rogers, in the early going of this match, showed absolutely nothing until Rosenblum ganged up on Hart while his back was turned, of course.
You can hear the crowd exhorting Bruce Hart. It's go, Bruce, go, go, Bruce, go. Will it give him enough of an emotional uplift to get him back in this match? He has absorbed a lot of punishment over the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Well, let's see what gives here. Big elbow. Jürgen Hermann, overseeing the proceedings, gives it a 2 count. That's all, as Hart kicks out nicely.
Goldie Rogers going for a pile driver. It doesn't quite come off. One thing about Bruce Hart, though, we've seen him start slowly and have periods when he has been beaten from pillar to post, but the man has got tremendous intestinal fortitude, and if anybody can come back from a bad beating, it's Bruce Hart. And bad beating is what he's getting right now.
Oddly enough, Goldie Rogers, bleeding slightly from the nose, might have had his bugle busted. Rosenblum, what do you want?
I just want to make one comment. Goldie's really looking sweet now. He's really looking smooth now that he's in my own camp, and I've been training him lately. He really looks good.
You'll be training him. I can imagine.
And as soon as Judah Rosenblum started singing Goldie Rogers' praises, the tide turned and Goldie found himself on the canvas.
Oh, that knee drop caught him on the head. Drops it down again. Hart has it under control right now. Drops it in. It's a 1. It's a 2. No, sir, not quite.
Well, one thing about Goldie Rogers, he too has a lot of stamina, and he doesn't want to quit, but look at that big pile driver. That could be the end. Bruce Hart now looking to finish his man.
He's going to give him a little bit more. I think he might have got the count right there. Watch this. No. Rosenblum tripped him. Rosenblum interfering again.
Well, if anybody is going to play outside the rules, it's Judah Rosenblum, and you can see why Bruce Hart and Brian Pillman just loathe that man.
Rogers up top. 1, 2. That's all. Nearing the 15-minute mark. It's 1 fall with a 30-minute time limit. Here comes Rogers up top. He's going to operate at close range, too. Whoops, he's being joined. Drops him on the ropes. He got all hung up in there. This could be the turning point.
He was hung out to dry. Here comes that flying clothesline. Bruce Hart's favorite maneuver. 1, 2, 3. It's all over. That famous Bruce Hart flying clothesline does in Goldie Rogers, your winner, Bruce Hart.
Fall slated for a 45-minute time limit. Brian Pillman, Cincinnati, 226. And out of Chicago, the Windy City, the verbally windy man, Judah Rosenblum, at 245. I'm amazed he has accepted a bout with Pillman.
So am I, because most of the time that Judah Rosenblum has been involved, particularly in tag team action, when he teamed up with Morrow against Pillman and Bruce Hart. He never, ever wanted to venture in the ring. He'd go in there for a brief cameo appearance after one of his opponents was already hurt. The man has got the heart and soul of a chicken.
Well, you're seeing an illustration whereof Jim Davies speaks, with Rosenblum afraid to get into the ring right off the top of the bout. "45-minute time limit, and again Rosenblum is gone." I think we may see a lot of this. It could turn into a track meet.
It could. I hope Judah Rosenblum has worn his running shoes, because he doesn't seem inclined to get into the ring. The one thing he hasn't got going for him is he hasn't got Judah Rosenblum in his corner to interfere for him. He's got to do it on his own.
And again, he's out of there. The reluctant warrior, Judah Rosenblum. He can waste more time outside the ring dodging than I believe anybody I've ever seen in wrestling.
Judah Rosenblum, as you can see, bears an uncanny resemblance to the famous boxing promoter by the name of King that you know. And I'll tell you, Don King would be embarrassed to be likened to the likes of Judah Rosenblum, because whereas King promotes the fights, Judah avoids them.
Precisely. That's Casey Houston trying to give encouragement to Mr. Rosenblum. A little later on, we'll see a six-man tag. I certainly await that one. And I await the start of this fight. We're already past the 2-minute mark, and not a blow has been struck in anger. Well, maybe something will happen here. No. Oh, yes. He gets dragged in.
That's the thing about the wrestling game. You can run so long, but you can't hide.
Oh! He fell for it. This time he throws him out. It may be a while before Rosenblum makes a return appearance.
Well, I don't think comforting from Casey Houston is going to do the trick. What he needs is a spine transplant. The man has to get some backbone, get in the ring, acquit himself as a professional wrestler instead of somebody who's off on a track meet all the time, avoiding the scrap.
Judah Rosenblum against Brian Pillman. I think Pillman has not wanted to fight. He has to now, whether he wants to or not. But maybe that's the wrong terminology, because he is a punching bag at the moment rather than a fighter. Wayne Hart, the referee. This is one fall with a 45-minute time limit.
And you can bet this is not going to go 45 minutes. Judah Rosenblum will either get pinned by Brian Pillman, the way things are going, or he'll get disqualified for spending too much time outside the ring, which he's been doing in great abundance thus far.
Beautiful clothesline and the cover, and it's just a 2 count. For a tough-talking guy, Rosenblum is an enigma. Talks tough, acts weakly. Very reluctant to fight. Look at him. He hasn't even touched Pillman.
He hasn't thrown a punch. This is the man that Karachi Vice looks to for leadership. Part of the troika of Mukhan Singh, the great Gamma. I'll tell you, Judah Rosenblum exerts all kinds of influence over that Karachi Vice team of wrestlers, but in the ring, he's a pussycat.
Well, he's going to get tossed out of the ring. Here comes Pillman up top. Bango. Down he goes. It is all Pillman. Pure and simple.
5 minutes on, 5 minutes.
Barry Russell, timekeeper, tells us we have exceeded the 5-minute barrier.
And isn't it interesting watching Judah Rosenblum skulking around? He's an awfully big man when he's got the likes of Jason the Terrible or some of his other forces at his side. But when he has to do the deed on his own, it's another story.
Well, will he continue? He's certainly not in a hurry to do so. Pillman grabs him. Doesn't exactly give him an invitation, and out goes Rosenblum once again.
This must be a dream come true for Brian Pillman. It is a grudge match. It's billed as such, and I'll tell you, Pillman sick to death, along with Bruce Hart, of the constant interference by Judah Rosenblum and his forces in their bouts. Now it's Pillman's chance to wreak revenge.
Well, a lot of the time he's hiding behind K.C. Houston. He better make it in there in a hurry. He beats the count. And now Pillman hammering away at him. Grabs him in the corner, flings him the opposite way. Here comes the touchdown drive.
And now Judah Rosenblum knows what it feels like to be a tackling dummy. He is getting shellacked in that ring. It's just a matter of time, it appears, before Pillman gets him down in the center of the ring for 1, 2, 3.
Moving toward the 10-minute mark. Something has got to give here. Beautiful drop kick off the top of the head at close range. Cover. Just 2. Pulls him over, gonna drive him. Yes, he is.
Bango! A flat top haircut for Judah Rosenblum. And Brian Pillman isn't done yet. He's going upstairs, Ed.
Long way away. Who's this? Jason is in the ring. Jason caught him with a hockey mask. He caught Pillman in the small of the back and partially the head as well. And Pillman is hurt.
Pillman did get the 3 count. It's over, but don't tell that to Jason the Terrible, who is manhandling Brian Pillman in the ring. Jason the Terrible going upstairs again.
There's nobody else around. There's another shot to the chest. Jason's going to do it from the opposite side. Rosenblum soundly beaten, but Pillman now is being soundly thrashed.
And you can see Jason the Terrible, the fighting machine that is managed by Judah Rosenblum, came to his boss's aid. Unfortunately for his mentor, it was too late. Brian Pillman has won the bout, but you'd never guess it by looking at the treatment he's getting in the ring right now.
And look at that Rosenblum. Rosenblum was such a bum during the fight. He offered absolutely nothing, but all of a sudden he's a big, brave man. Sickening. I would like to know where Bruce Hart is, Pillman's partner.
Definitely Brian Pillman can use some help. You can hear they're calling for Owen Hart. They're calling for anybody to give Brian Pillman a hand as he's getting battered in the ring by Jason the Terrible and Judah Rosenblum. Look at that big hockey mask. Here comes, who is this?
DeFosse coming in. Now it's Bruce Hart. Now he's going after Jason, but he's having trouble with Jason. Finally clears him out of there. Now we've got Owen in there. He wants to have a shot at Jason. Now believe me, the animosities are growing. Judy, you got killed in there. You offered no opposition.
I just want to say
Take a look at the tape.
My man Jason the Terrible, he reminds me of man Ron Hextall, that great hockey player, you know. He's an avid fan of him myself. He's not like those...
What was he doing in
He's
there?
not like those crease freaks up in Edmonton or something that lost the hockey league. This man got the same type of attitude, aggressive and good sportsmanship. I like my man. He's right there all the time. He's all the way, you know.
Sportsmanship?
That's right. Let me tell you one thing about this Pillman guy. Now, that was a low-down, dirty trick he pulled on me. He drilled every low-down trick, every low-down trick it was in the book. You see it with your eyes.
What are you going to fight about? You didn't fight in that. What are you talking about?
Every low,
right,
you know, he's not going to never do anything like that to my man Jason like that.
Ridiculous.
He's got the thing there. And you know something, man? You better watch yourself as well on that one. I'm telling you, Weldon. You know.
I think you better put him back in his
You know what I'm
cage.
saying? I'm telling you, you better watch yourself.
Yeah, sure. Get out of here. Get him out of here.
Bruce Hart, I know you're out here on behalf of your tag team champion partner, Brian Pillman. He took an awful beating after he won that bout at the hands of that unstoppable force, Jason the Terrible.
He's not unstoppable, Jim. As soon as myself, Pillman, or Owen get my hands on that big masked goon, we're going to knock the damn mask down his throat. We're going to beat him with that big stick and knock his damn brain silly. Pillman's all shaken up right now. I don't know whether he's subconscious right now. He's all totally messed up, but if any of us get our heads on that big geek Jason, it's going to be the end of him.
Okay.
That Rosenblum, too. We're not putting up with this type of crap anymore. It's going to be an eye for an eye or tooth for a tooth. They're going to spill a quart of our blood. We're going to spill a gallon of theirs.
Well, Rosenblum showed his true colors as a coward. He did absolutely nothing in the bout, and then, in fact, all he did was run, and then Jason the Terrible comes in, and suddenly Rosenblum is a big, tough guy. The one thing I've got to ask you about is that mask, that hockey goaltender's mask being worn by Jason the Terrible and used as a weapon. Is there anything you can do to get him to remove that thing? Because obviously he's wreaking havoc with that.
We're going to have to do something like that. That's probably the strongest part of his army. When an army goes into battle, you got to find the weak part of a guy, and we're going to have to take advantage of other aspects of him. That thing seems to give an air of invulnerability, and right now he's using it as a damn weapon and bludgeoning guys, and blood's flowing like wine and all that. But we're going to be studying films of this guy, and one way or the other, we're going to find a few weaknesses. He looks like a damn imposing force right now, but we never got to where we got to by backing down from anything, and he's not going to cause any of us to back down. He's just going to make us try that much harder. If I get my hands on him, Owen or Pillman, we're going to give him everything we've got, and we're going to try to destroy him and Rosenblum. He and Rosenblum are first and foremost on the list right now, secondary to the Karachi Vice and all those others. Those are the guys that Pillman and I are looking for right now.
Thanks very much, Bruce Hart. He's reckoning with an ominous force, Jason the Terrible. We'll see what develops.
You know, and Hart has a lot of opposition in this ring in the sense that owning 2 belts, he's got Maka Singh, who wants to challenge for the heavyweight title. He's got Gama, who would like the Commonwealth title. Gama got a rude reception.
He did indeed. It'll take more than just a little bit of skullduggery to upset Owen Hart. He handled the great Gama quite nicely. He's pulled Jerry Moore over into the corner. Here comes Kichi Yamada. Big judo chop right on the man with one of the hardest heads in the business, Jerry the Coconut Head Morrow.
Oh, what a flying clothesline. Yamada slapping it on with conviction. Hasse gets set to join the fray. Going to help to drive him in. Yes, sir. Oh!
And look at the expression of delight on the face of Hiro Hasse. He's been waiting for this revenge, and how sweet it is.
Just a 2 count. You talk about potential to challenge for the mid-heavyweight title. Hasse in there has that kind of caliber of opposition. He could be a dandy. Is a dandy. Major contender. Here's Gama. It's taking the 2 of them to do the job on Hasse. Watch now. Clothesline. Again, malfunction, and the tag, in comes Owen Hart.
And you can see that the team of Owen Hart, Kichi Yamada, and Hiro Hase have it all over their opposition in terms of speed and skill.
Gama got him from behind. Love this crowd tonight. They're not the biggest crowd we've had, but talk about vocal.
They are enjoying themselves, and they're seeing some good wrestling. Right now is just about the first time in this bout that referee Jürgen Herman has lost some of his control over the proceedings. We've just passed the 10-minute mark, and he has been doing a very respectable job here in our six-man tag main event.
On the ropes. Look at that! Mucker orders Gama into the ring. He gets the same kind of greeting. Love this Owen Hart.
And it's interesting seeing the man, 380-pound Mutkin Singh, the big guy, begging for mercy, and Owen Hart picks him up like he was nothing. Look at these high flyers coming at you from all angles.
Oh, yeah! Great bout. Great bout, great talent.
This is like an aerial act, a high wire act at the circus. Whammo.
The flying kamikazes. Hero takes a look, says, let's fly again. Here they go. Double drop kick. Crowd is loving this, loving it.
And for anybody who doubted that speed was good enough to beat size, a 200-pound weight disadvantage for the team of Owen Hart, Kichi Yamada, Hiro Hase. It doesn't make any difference with the speed they got.
What a bout. Combination is Hart, Yamada, and Hase against Singh, Gama, and Morrow. Coming into mid-ring, Gama a little reluctant to tangle with Hase, the fine Vietnamese wrestler, formerly, in case you've tuned us in late, formerly known as Viet Cong Express #1.
Viet Cong Express #1 no longer. It is Hiro Hase, the new man, the new improved man. And I'll tell you what, the grudge that he's got against the great Gama, who infiltrated the Viet Cong Express and helped destroy him just a matter of a week ago, the grudge is happening right now.
The very agile Hiro Hase. Are we going to spin him? The big airplane spin? Yamada gives him a shot. Crowd loves it. Referee isn't paying much attention to tags, is he?
He is not, but he hasn't made any massive blunders thus far. I'll tell you what, we've got those famous Armed Forces Snowbird jet team, the acrobatic team in town right now, and I'll tell you what, they're not any more of a high-flying bunch than what you see from Hase, Yamada, and Owen Hart.
We are moving toward the 15-minute mark. Hase. Whoops. Tag, and it's Mukka Singh getting set to come in.
And you can see Hiro Hase being held by the hair by the great Gama. The referee, Jürgen Hermann, finally restoring some order. Only 2 men in the ring now, but one of them, 380-pound Makhan Singh, has it all over Hiro Hase right now. And look at Jerry Morrow coming in.
Now, the referee is losing it for the first time in the bout, I will admit. He's choking, there's no question. And initially, the referee did not see it. Well, Makhan Singh used a foreign object to jam to the throat. And look at this, he's got tape. Got tape wrapped around his man.
And this is one of Jerry Morrow's little tricks. He wraps the tape around his opponent's neck and covers up his skullduggery with his arm so the referee cannot see it.
Past the 15-minute mark. Referee is distracted. And it's hard to know where to look.
It is, with 6 men involved, it is an almost impossible duty for just one referee. And you can see the referee occupied with Owen Hart while the great Gamma outside the ring was laying it on Hiro Hase, and now Champagne Jerry Morrow pounding on Hase. Hase's been taking a bad beating over the last 5 minutes. He needs to make a tag.
And he comes, whether he wants to or not. Makhan Singh. Power slam. 1, 2, not quite.
Great strength by Hiro Hase to actually throw off 380-pound Makhan Singh. Great strength.
This is Gamma. It was a legitimate tag. Cannot make the tag. Gamma in action. Mid-ring against Hiro, but Hiro again cannot quite get over to make the tag.
He is looking groggy. He's taken a beating at the hands of all 3 of his opponents. Makhan Singh, Great Gamma, and Champagne Jerry Morrow. Here comes Morrow. Big headbutt off the ropes. He's going for the pin. 1, 2. Once again, Hiro Hase with a lot of stamina.
Moving toward the 20-minute mark. Morrow being warned about use of the hair. Neck breaker. Tag and Makhan Singh. Boy, you talk about a weight difference. Hiro Hase at 220, Makhan at 380.
Big weight differential. And when we're talking about big men, I'll just take one brief second to tell you, a very big man, Bad News Allen, one of your favorites, Ed Whalen, is appealing his suspension. We could see him back in the territory very, very soon.
That's good news about bad news.
Well, we're of mixed opinion on that. I'll tell you, one guy I am looking forward to seeing coming back, and we'll see him in a couple of weeks, the very popular former Commonwealth mid-heavyweight champ, Johnny Smith. He'll be coming back.
Well, let's concentrate on what's doing right here, right now. And right here, right now.